Okay, wow. So, Earth Signs, welcome to your daily focus for Wednesday. You are mostly swords today. So, you are in your thoughts. You are definitely thinking about something. And what you should focus on, Queen of Swords. So, this is a card that is talking about, she has a very jazzy sort of gold on here that's not really on a lot of cards. So the Queen of Swords, she is talking about somebody who sets clear boundaries, and water signs also had Queen of Swords, but in a very, not quite in the same way. And this can be, oh, I forgot to tell water signs that. This can be somebody who's into witchcraft or like doing something kind of shady. Just to let you know. Now, the Druidcraft, I'll read you a sentence from it. It says, "Some may find her professionalism and self-reliance intimidating, but her honesty and ability to be detached and objective make her an excellent ally, friend, or business partner. She can be..." Well, yeah, we don't need to talk about that. So it usually talks about needing to be objective, needing to use your intellect, right? Now, the card that came out with it, and this is, this is all about, she is sitting there, she's got her eyes closed and she's looking down, but the bird on her shoulder, the messenger, it wouldn't be like an angel, and it wouldn't be like, a consciousness, like it wouldn't be Jimmy Cricket or something, like her own conscience. It's more like, I read it as more like the messenger of the gods, because this bird can fly really high. This bird can see things and know things that people don't, right? And so she's going within, she's trying to almost absorb the knowledge by osmosis, just sitting there calmly holding her sword, not really holding the hilt like she's getting ready to attack, but also not holding the blade. She's kind of in between. She's got a little bit of both there. So she's got a little bit of both cutting edges of the sword and of the handle for it, the hilt. And she's sitting there trying to come up with, like, what do I do? How do I do this? How do I handle this situation? And she's trying to get that higher knowledge. Now, the Knight of Cups came out at the same time she did. And this golden cup, this golden flow of emotions is the ability to transform. Now, this can be a card of like advancement until you are fulfilled. It can be a card of idealism also. So whatever conflict you're experiencing between what you feel in your heart and what you need to take action on, that's what this card is about. Sorry for that. I need to move something around. Dog is in the way. So the golden cup can also be thought of as the Holy Grail, like your ultimate satisfaction, your ultimate knowledge, your ultimate source of life. So you're needing to look at and be objective and think about this. What do you actually want? That should be your focus, okay? What brings you the joy? What brings you the happiness? What helps you balance, and like cutting out everything that doesn't. So the clarifier for those two, the Seven of Swords, this card I tend to think of, the other deck, it doesn't look like this. The other deck, it's very clear that it's, something like overwork, due to worry. It can also be insights and planning a strategy. So acting strategically. To me, this one is more about somebody's doing something they shouldn't. So it has like the connotation of getting away with something, sabotaging something, somebody being irresponsible and deceptive. And so this was the clarifier for the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Cups. So somebody is not being truthful, either with themselves or with you. And I'm going to say it's somebody not being truthful with you, because these two cards came out together initially, and the other card that came out was the Three of Swords. And I don't read all of them as heartbreak. I mean, that's the obvious reading when you look at it, but like the Three of Swords and the Druidcraft is very different. So you can read this as heartbreak. You can read it as like a betrayal, like a backstabbing, like you would Ten of Swords. You can also read it as wisdom from suffering, deception. Somebody got close enough. The candle just made a noise. Somebody got close enough to you to where they could put your heart on display and then basically tear it to shreds, right? You let them put the key in the door. So this card can be talking about that deception. It can be talking about wisdom through the suffering causing you to transform, right? You are going to transform because you're going to look at this objectively and you're going to go, okay, this happened to me. What can I do to prevent it from happening next time? Why did it happen? You're like not going to wallow in it. You're going to take action and you're going to transform with these, tadpoles or lizards, whatever they are on his chest. And this golden cup, he's got the sun. He's got a halo behind his head. So he has creativity. He has growth from the sun shining on his head. This, key to your heart, this key to the betrayal and overcoming it. Whether it was put on display or not has nothing to do with your ability to overcome it. It's how you think about it and how you deal with it moving forward that is going to give you the ability to overcome it. That's the key to it. The deception, unfortunately, deception is a part of life. There are lots of people out there who hide lots of things. Sometimes it's for their own sake. Sometimes it's because they're doing something that they shouldn't be. They really are, shady. They're trying to get away with something. They're trying to deceive you. They're stealing something, or they're just not who they say they are. But at the bottom of the deck, and what's hidden from you and what you don't know, we have the Fool. So this is opening the new doorway. This is the new start, the beginning of the journey. This is 0. So 0, sometimes it's considered the beginning number. Sometimes it's considered neither the beginning number nor the end number. 0 is not positive. It's not negative. It just is. So the beginning of the journey, the new life, the new hopes, the new start, it just is. It's going to happen. whether you see it now or not, because the bottom of the deck is, your unconscious. That's what's hidden from you. So this new journey is going to start. And then you've got Six of Cups. This is talking about joy and happiness. It's talking about something that you used to do, that you loved to do, that brought you that satisfaction, and it's going to bring you that satisfaction again. Because underneath that, we have Nine of Cups, and we have Hermit. So we have satisfaction, and yeah, Hermit does talk about alone time sometimes, but more to me, particularly this Hermit, even though he's alone in the image, like these golden wings, this is another doorway. And these golden wings have a skull underneath them. So they've basically encompassed and conquered death, right? The skull is a memento mori. We all die. It's a memory that we all die, right? But the golden wings have encompassed it. The skull is almost wearing them like a hat or like, some sort of fancy dress. And the golden wings, to me, are all about overcoming something. Not necessarily overcoming death, but overcoming like this negativity in this transformation. So overcoming this heartbreak, this betrayal that's here, this deceit that's here with the Seven of Swords and the Three of Swords. And the Hermit, he's got the wand. So he's got the growth with the laurel wreath. And the laurel in this image, it's not golden. In other images, it's golden. But here it's green. So it's all about healing with the Hermit. And he's wearing white. He's wearing the color, in some cultures, white is the color of purity, hence like brides and babies, they get married in it, or they have, babies have, communion or something in white because it's the color of purity. In other cultures, it's the color that one wears to like a funeral, because death, the full absence of the spectrum of color that we can see with light, or the full absorption of color. So black and white, they are considered to be colors of having, nothing, like purity, or having it all, like black. It's like you've absorbed all the knowledge, you've absorbed all the good things and all the bad things, and you've transmuted them into something else. Your body dies, but your soul lives on, and your soul has learned the lessons that it needed to learn in this life, and now it has passed on. There's technically no need to mourn. You're just in another state of being. So the Hermit, he's got the star, and this is not quite like the star. Let's see if it'll zoom in. This is not quite like the star in the star card in this deck. It's a little bit, but not quite. It's almost like the Merkaba star, or the Star of David, and you can look up what that's all about, in terms of like what's it called, Kabbalah, in terms of like spirituality, and like there's a couple other, I think, non-Jewish spirituality for that, but you can look it up. But he's basically using his higher self to guide him through the darkness to this doorway, through this transformation into this new life. And it can be a card of withdrawal from society if you need to, but to me it's more a card of like withdrawing into yourself from the people who are negative towards you, the people who are toxic for you, the people who are influencing you in a bad way, whether it's somebody like on TV, social media, on your computer or your phone, whether it's somebody at work, which it could be with the Seven of Swords, or it's somebody in your personal life, which could be, this Three of Swords. So this to me is about getting away from their influence on your life and going back inside yourself, going back to like, what is it that I want? What is it that I value? What is it that I need? And then finding your way to it, lighting your way to that. And that brings you that victory in this transformation. I hope that makes sense to you. So even though you've got these two cards and the swords, I think I said because they have double edge, so they're like cutting thoughts. They're also considered balancing good and evil, or balancing your thoughts, balancing your male and female sides. But to me, this is more about like Three of Swords, more about like cutting thoughts, but also like somebody being really deceiving. Somebody just, like I said, maybe stealing, maybe trying to get away with something, doing something they shouldn't be, and then basically putting it on display that, they've put one over on you, or they've, gotten close enough to tear your heart in half. But the key is, to take this action, to move towards this transformation, to set your boundaries, to be firm, to figure out like, where do you want to go and what do you want to do next. You can transform your life. You can take this negative that was not your fault, and you can turn it into a positive. You can really learn from it. And I'm sure that's what you're going to do because of this Nine of Cups, Six of Cups, and Fool. Have a good Wednesday. Have a great Wednesday if you can. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.